Imagine running a race, well, let's say a marathon. And in this marathon, you run hard, you run fast. You're at a good pace, you're in a good position, you're at the front of the line, and then you get distracted. You see a butterfly, and then you start playing with it. You start chasing the butterfly instead of focusing on what lies ahead, which is the race. And you run along dilly-dallying, singing songs to yourself. Then the race is over. The other race goers, they finish, but you haven't. And then they ask you, well, why didn't you finish? Weren't you ahead of us? It's like, nah, sorry, I got distracted, my bad. Can we go again? No. There isn't a going again. You had your one chance and you blew it. Isn't that silly? That man who got distracted by a butterfly? Well, guess what? That's us when we get distracted by our phones. The race of life. Doesn't matter how hard you run, how fast you run. If you don't even finish, there was no point of running in the first place. Today, we're going to talk about committing. And committing, you can commit to a lot of things. But the most important thing is committing to life. Committing fully to the objective in front of you. And I'm here to help you guys realize and unlock a new perspective on personal growth, which is the number one best thing you can ever do to yourself, is focus on personal growth and becoming the best version of yourself. And because that, and then after that, you can help others to become the best version of themselves, and you can find the greatest fulfillment in the universe from helping others become the best version of themselves, helping others to win, and you win by helping others to win. And isn't it amazing? Great. So today, I want to talk about more in depth, I guess, how you react. How you react to criticism and how that affects your personal growth. So, we all know the story of David. We all know who he is. And what he did. He committed adultery with a woman, and then he faced punishment for that. But we're not going to look at exactly what he did. We're going to look at how he responded to that. And then King Asa, who was a king of Israel or Judah, I don't know. But what he did that displeased God, he went to the Syrian king of the rival nation for help instead of coming to God for help, which is what he used to do, but now he just changed his mind, I guess. And Governor Felix, maybe you guys probably don't know him. He was keeping Paul in his house while people were looking for him, when people were trying to arrest Paul, and they were on the hunt for him. Felix was kind enough to lend a helping hand. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. So, what actually happened with Felix? He was listening to Paul speak because Paul was a preacher. He was more than a preacher, but he did a lot of that. And Felix was confronted with topics like righteousness, self-control, and the judgment of God. And he got a bit scared at that confrontation. And I'm sure Paul was probably criticizing him, telling him he's doing all these things wrong, right? Yeah, he got a bit scared, and he's like, oh, okay, no, sorry. I have to go now, I'm busy, I'll talk later. And then apparently Paul kept trying to reach out, but he never, he always made up an excuse. Well, that's the worst example of what you can do. I wanted to kind of go through all of them, but I guess I'll start with this one. So, when someone tells you you're doing something wrong, do you run away? Do you hide? Do you hide behind a mask? Do you pretend oh no, it's all good, and then just despise all that people say, all the feedback they give you, right? Anyway, that was Felix. Are you like a Felix? I'll get through them all, and then you can say. Asa, King Asa. He trusted God. He was a man of God. He was a king of the tribe of the nation No, it wasn't even a nation. It was like a... Anyway, and at one point, like I said before, he went to the Syrians instead of God, and a prophet of God came and confronted him about it. And guess what he did when he faced confrontation? He got defensive and he threw the prophet in prison. Yeah, nothing about it. When someone comes up to you and says, "Oh bro, you're not doing this right," or like they try to like, "Oh, instead of doing this, you should do this better," like, or just straight up like, "Oh man, this is wrong," what are you doing? Do you get defensive? Do you get angry at that person? I mean, you don't have the power to throw them in jail, but just consider. And last of all, David. So he committed adultery, which was quite already bad enough, but then he kills the Bathsheba's husband, Uriah, which stepping it up a notch to cover it up, which is even worse. Arranging the murder of someone, that's even a crime today, quite a serious one. And the prophet Nathan, he confronts him and says, look, he gave him like a whole parable, and he's like, look, you are this man that has done so much wrong. And then David was like, you know what? I have sinned. I did wrong. And I won't do it again. I don't know if he said that. But pretty much, yeah. Nathan said, you are forgiven, but you still will face the punishment for your sin, which is pretty great. And yeah, just to sum it all up, that's pretty much all the different ways you can respond. There's actually just 3 ways really that you can. Let's have a look here. The 3 responses: flee, fight, or receive. Now, the best thing you can do for yourself isn't to listen more of me or listen to more of someone else or something else about this, but actually self-reflect and question yourself. Which one am I? Like when someone actually criticizes me, how do I respond? Next time it happens, actually, try keep that in the back of your mind. How do you respond? Because how you respond is actually how you grow. Now, it obviously makes sense, right? Like, imagine telling a chef that his food tastes absolutely terrible. Now, imagine if he responded each of the 3 ways. Now, it's pretty assuming to say that the chef who receives the feedback, would become the best chef. Because after a long time of feedback and getting multiple different opinions, taking people's advice, he would become better because he's not staying the same. And staying the same is the worst mistake you can ever make. If you stay the same, you're actually losing time. You're not growing at all. You're just getting deeper into a whole timeflation, Time keeps going, you gotta keep up. If you don't, you'll fall behind. And you'll be some old person, no wisdom, no experience, just defensive. Those people who you try to tell them something like, no, bro, that's alright. Like, yeah, I know better. You know those people? Like, you probably do already know someone off the top of your head who's like that. Seeds don't sprout instantly. And when you plant a seed, the fruit only comes years later, right? Same as this. If you receive feedback or criticism and you receive it in your heart and take it on, you won't straight away see it unless a situation happens again and you actually apply it. But even 2-3 years down the line, it'll be in your subconscious mind and you won't even know it, because you actually consider damn, I'm not doing this right. Let's try to do better. Let's be better. Let's become the best version of myself, because what other thing can I do to help others, the people around me, by just becoming the best version of myself? You can't serve someone if you're a nobody. Well, actually, no. Take that back, cut that out, because you can't. But you can serve others greater if you're better in a better position to teach, because the best leaders are also the best servants. That's off topic. And it's getting hot. ASMR break. Right. So it's up to you to take correction into your heart or deflect it. There's two options, but there's different ways of doing it, going about. Don't deflect it. Like, imagine if someone's giving you money. Would you take it, or would you push it away? Well, guess what? Wisdom is priceless. Wisdom is more valuable than money. So there you go. Take that on board. And another point I would like to make, sometimes criticism comes from people who don't like you, people you don't like. Well, why wouldn't you use that to your gain, to your liking, or no, to your advantage is the word I was looking for. Yeah, sometimes the most useful feedback comes from people who don't like you. Their bias doesn't cancel out the truth. Now, obviously when someone doesn't like you, they'll over-exaggerate the points they're trying to make. But you can sit there and say, hold on, what is this person saying? Is it true? Well, let's fact check it. Let's go to the Bible. Let's do some digging. Let's do some research and see if this is the truth. Either I find out that they were speaking the truth and I get to correct myself, or they were telling lies, but I would have gained wisdom from the word. I would have known what was the right way, because I gained that wisdom from the word, right? So it's a win-win situation. It all depends on how you respond, though. You can't become more wise if you're always defensive about what you know, what you do. If you keep deflecting criticism, you ain't gonna become any wiser. Rebuke a wise man, he only becomes wiser. Proverbs, bro. Read it. Another analogy, because I like them. Smashing a mirror doesn't neglect the fact of what it's showing you, right? Smashing a mirror only disbenefits you because you can't see the imperfections anymore, right? Now, why wouldn't you use your mind and work around it? Look, alright, how can I do this? How can I become the best version of myself? What tools can I use? What tools do I have available? Okay? So look, you need a mirror, right? Because you can't see yourself without it. Criticism is a mirror because people tell you what they see about you. A third person perspective. So, main takeaway, personal growth is amazing. Point number 2 is criticism produces growth. So take on as much criticism as you can. Learn from other people's mistakes. But yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say for today. Just personal growth. Criticism. How do you respond? Do you respond like David, Asa, or Felix? Really think about it. The best thing you can do for yourself is consider new perspectives. A new perspective is like a new branch in your mind. The more you get, the more knowledge you have. The more knowledge you have, the easier it is to go about life. I've seen so many people, they're like, oh man, I'm struggling with this. Well, and then you can't try help them because they'll just be like, oh man, those kind of people. Don't go out of your way to really criticize someone. You say it once. If they respond poorly, if they deflect, don't come to them again. I mean, it's common sense, right? But if they do, if they take it on, then that's someone you actually want to get to know, right? That's someone who you can keep coming to and actually grow with each other, because they can criticize you. You can ask for criticism from other people as well. Hey bro, I've been noticing this about me. Do you think this is right? Obviously, you have to judge and discern opinions from facts. But hey, the more perspectives you know, the more you know. So yeah, God bless you guys, and remember, someone's always watching.